Good evening, friends. Once again, I'm here with you with my HRM ongoing series session. Students, in last two videos, we were able to understand what is HR planning, and we were also able to understand what all are the levels, what all are the stages in the HR planning. So, as per our commitment, I, Amit Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, Gwalior, welcomes you for the forthcoming session. So, without any delay, let us proceed with our pending discussion. So, let us start. Uh, Let us start from the remaining session. HR planning that we had talked about HR planning levels. So today we are going to start with this HR planning process, followed by the different steps. First is environmental scanning. Any organization or any firm which is thinking to have the understanding of procedural framework, they need to have the impact strategy goal for their unit. And therefore, this is the part of, or rather the important part of the HR planning process. Second in this order is involving line managers. It determines HR needs for the departments. Friends, folks, we need to understand why where there is a great importance or great need for involvement of line managers. Students, line managers are basically those managers which are aligning the subordinates or peer groups, and they are observing the needs of the departments. They may be called as department heads or subheads. The next process for HR planning is forecasting. Forecasting are to be done or is to be done by the quantity and quality of the personnel needed. First, we need to understand what is quantity and what is quality. Quantity, we are talking about a manpower in number or in capacity, and quality in terms of what sub, substantial potential the individuals have got. Then we have to talk about the analysis of supply. We need to talk about what is the supply ingredients into it. Supply meant for, we need to understand that whether we have got the adequate supply for the available work or against the available work, which is subsequent to the number of persons or number of or type of quality to the number of work or volume work available. The next process or procedure which is important, or that is last but not the least, plan of action. Anything that is needs to be justified for completing the human resource planning, that is called recruitment, selection and training. The friends, this portion as per your syllabus we are going to cover in the third unit, which we have already discussed in the classroom, but definitely I'm going to talk through this particular series. So you are going to await for that particular video. Okay. Students, let us move about HR planning in more further action. We need to understand HR planning is actually a formalization of the prediction of demand, followed by the forecast internal supply, followed by the forecast external supply. Supply needs to be matched by the demand, and demand has been adhered by. Likewise, we had mentioned here in the slide, assess trends, external labor market. What these trends are all about, we need to understand a little here that external labor market, what type of external labor market the particular trade is belongs to. Then what is the current employee scenario in terms of their capacity, in terms of their work availability and their performance also. The performance is a separate matter to be talked about later. Future organizational plan of the organization and whether they are keeping fit into it. If they are, that's well and good. If they are not, then we need to generate the demand, and there should be generic or general economic trends. What is the organizational economic environment requirements, and accordingly it is going to match the requirement of the same. So this is predict demand, and prediction of the demand would be completed by the two aspects. One is the forecast internal supply and forecasting the external supply, which needs to be compared in the future context by both internal and external supply, followed by plan of dealing with predictions of shortfall or overshift stuffing. There are two conditions may be possible. One is the organization may have the shortcoming of the personnel available at the plant or the organization, or there may be overburdens. Okay, so for that we need to do situation analysis. Situation analysis, let us first understand what is this phenomena is all about. Situation analysis is, by word we can understand, it is an analysis of the situation. So in terms of the organization, we need to understand and we need to interact HRM and strategic planning. Whether our plan, whether our available human resource or human resource management phenomena is executing strategic plan appropriately or not. Then second, it is true strategic plan must adapt to environmental circumstances. Friends, as we have discussed in the recent classes, that the strategic plan must adopt the environmental circumstances meant for whatever the environment, whatever the circumstances, where we talked about external environment or the internal environment of the organization or the HR within the organization. For the HR, the circumstances will definitely prevail certain situations, and that needs to be analyzed in the quest of judging the HR planning. Then HRM is one of the mechanism of adoption of processes. I guess in last video of mine, I had talked about set procedures. Set procedure is general depiction of that particular process, though process or the process mechanism adopted by the organization had already been discussed in our earlier classes. Remember the first and second unit, basically in the classroom discussion. For example, this is into the quest of rapid technological changes can force the organization to quickly identify and hire employees with new skills. It's quite obvious that the scenarios are there. The situation is prevailing. Accordingly, we need to scan it or analyze it, and accordingly we need to work it on. Without HR plan or support, the recruitment and selection functions would not be impossible. This is the matter to be discussed. But to discuss the recruitment and selection, first we need to improvise what would be the forecasting and what would be supply, internal, external, and how we would analyze that particular demand. Okay, so forecasting is one of the key parameters by which we can use it. Estimation is not only how many. For example, if I am in need of the staff of mine, that is, I am going to create a certain content. For making that content, maybe I am in need of few people to surround me, and then they can help me. They can be acted like an employee to me. But this estimation is purely not how many. Definitely, it is the quest of understanding what kind of employees I am in need, what kind meant for their skills, their nature of work, their experience, and there are so many other yields that to be talked about under forecasting. Yield advance estimates or calculation on the organization staff requirements are to be talked about. And then apart from quantitative tool, a deal of human judgment is involved. It's okay, we used to talk about qualitatively or quantitatively, it's okay, but human aspect may not be forgotten. I need a person for help. He or she needs to be a typical type which he or she have got the humanitarian nature. So judging human is very important. Judging in terms of Personality may also be the variable, as we have discussed about that in the previous units, few units in the classroom. And so many discussions we have already taken about human judgment. The organizations are not only going to forecast their workforce because they are in need of, in numbers, rather they are be very judgmental about their behavior or behaviors rather, and judgmental about their attitudes as well. The incredibility difficult task. Incredibly, it is a difficult task, especially in the rapid changing environment. So it is because a difficult task. Therefore, the forecasting that we are talking about, and therefore it is to be treated as special course of action confined by HR or HR manager. So let us now talk about forecasting techniques. Forecasting techniques basically in the syllabus, though in our BBA syllabus, it is not advised you to talk about very in depth, though I'm going to talk about both qualitative and technical, quantitative techniques as well. The most important, which I felt, that is the nominal or the Delphi technique some or the other time, but progression analysis or productivity ratio may also be discussed. So let us talk, and subjectively we are going to choose something and then we are to discuss only, because your syllabus according to me doesn't allow this particular because this is very thick and thin syllabus. According to that, we are not in need, though if you are thinking, we will be able to. Let us talk about nominal group technique. Nominal group technique is one of the more orthodox technique for forecasting. Let me assume you have a small group of 4 or 5 people, right? They gathered around a table. Leader identifies judgment issues and gives participant procedural instruction. Let us understand that someone in the organization or the team of the organization, they sit together and then they had decided certain things onto the ground of the tools of observation to be talked about, and then onto the basis of that they may select or reject the people that they are talking about. So mainly it is all about that. And if you are keep on talking and keep on talking about that procedure or procedural instruction, there is no hire and fire rule. There is no procedure as such, but it is subject to the group's requirement or group leader's tendency. It may be subject to, or it may be varied from one organization to two, or it may also vary to one group or two. Participants will write down all its ideas that occurs to them. They keep listing privates at that point. Creativity is encouraged during this phase. That meant for whenever they have got the nominal group techniques, the group will sit together, then they jot down the ideas. Then they've got certain phenomena outcomes, and then they draw a thin line in their mind to make up the further assessment for forecasting. Leader asks each participant to present ideas and writes them on a blackboard or flip chart. That meant for someone to whom we are assessing, we need to have their ideas, what they are working capacity, and continuing until all ideas have been recorded. That meant for, suppose I've got an idea that I have to complete this type of work. To complete this particular type of work, I'm in need of the particular type of workforce available at my place. And this particular type of work, we have this particular type of work, I need to cater this type of criteria. And if someone is going to fulfill that criteria, I shall be able to take best out of it. This is what the nominal technique is at the third step. Participants will discuss each other's ideas, clarifying, explaining, and evaluating them as a group. And then this discussion will have a fruitful outcome. It's not like that people are sharing and then meeting, then they don't have the very clear idea. Participants ranks ideas privately in their own personal orders and preferences. This is what the trajectory, the commander or the leader in the whole group, they will rank that idea. Rank meant for the ideas that they had jotted down, they will clarify this from one end to the another. And then whatever the best idea they choose for, they will look after for that particular idea. And the idea that ranks highest among the participants is adopted as a group judgment. This is what the nominal group techniques. For example, in very general words, if I could quote you an example, let us take as an example of our family. Whenever we are in the quest of deciding anything or everything for our household purpose, we as a family head, mother, children, father, they used to sit together and having a common ideas, and whatever the common idea on priority finalize the sale or deal is going to be fixed on that. So this is what nominal group technique, which is very common. And I thought, as far as this syllabus, I am submitting that this will be the discussion that will be helping you. Though Delphi technique is one of the important techniques in the modern era, but not more. Most of the examiners are placing this in the exam. So that may be another thing. But let us talk about Delphi technique also. As I had elaborated this particular flow chart here, or a particular model that we are talking about under this Delphi technique. Delphi technique is a modern technique in the modern HR arenas or the workplace. They used to manage their workforce by forecasting the numbers or volumes or in terms of capacities. What they used to do, how do this techniques been generalized? Let us talk. Leader identifies judgment issues and develop questionnaire. Whatever is there in their mind, they have got certain teams, and this team have prepared certain questionnaires. On to the basis of the questionnaires, prospective participants are identified and asked to cooperate. Cooperate meant for, this is what their internal talk. If we are talking about this particular questionnaire sort of thing, definitely we are talking about internal workforce analyst requirement by the leaders. Leaders, I'm not talking about leader, it is leaders. Leaders send questionnaire to willing participants who record their judgment and recommendation and return the questionnaire. Then leaders compile, summarize, and procedures participant responses. Then leaders sends the compiled list of judgment to all participants. Then participants comment on each other's ideas and proposal on the final judgment. If it seems okay, not seems okay, then the loop will be continuous. You may see this. Let me annote this, and if we are able to spot it light here, this is this way, this way, this way. You can read it out as I already explained it. Leader sends the compiled list of judgment, whatever they had taken the decision in as a team, they will take a part of it into it, and participant comments on each other's ideas and propose a final judgment. If the judgment leader looks or consensus, if the consensus are not being right, then the loop will be get back. Leader will recorrect this. Recorrectation will again come back to the participants for their comments, and if it is not formalized, it should be later to the again this loop. And definitely after the filtration of the second line, there won't be anything remaining, I guess. And then lastly, leader accept consensus judgments as a group of choice. So this is what the Delphi technique. Okay, now let me in general explain you what is the Delphi technique. Delphi techniques looks very important technique as far as examiner, maybe for the MBA students purpose, but I thought for you guys probably it is not that much important, but who knows the mindset of examiner. So don't take it easy, try to be there with that. Let me summarize the Delphi technique. It is the forecasting technique followed by the group of people. They are going to judge certain things. They had jotted down their ideas, followed by certain questionnaires. questionnaire needs to be reported back to the participants, and then leader compiles certain summaries. This is like interpretation from certain fillings, and then those reproduces participants, they will have the compile this with judgment, and then they will look after on the common ideas. If at all not been accepted by everyone, it will filter again. And lastly, leader accept consensus judgment as group's choice. It is equal like a home-based example, as I told you. Deciding certain things for certain HR-related requirement. Every department followed by the leader, they have certain questionnaires, and then the HR manager is suggesting certain things which needs to be verified or justified by the head of the team or the company head. The work would be commonly justified, and then leader took into the consensus. Lastly, it is going to be accepted. Next is statistical techniques. Statistical techniques are more complex in nature, which are more mathematical or more calculation based, right? So if we are in need of talking this particular discussion, let us talk about, let me move myself away. Okay, this is first this regression analysis. Okay, to I thought most of us, we had studied the business research method. So this is the technique is like that. Past level of various works load indicators such as sales, production levels, and are examined for statistical relationship with the staffing levels. Where sufficiently strong relationships are found, a regression or multiple regression model is derived. For forecasted levels of the retained indicators are entered into the resulting models and used to calculate the associated level of human resource requirement. Now, regression analysis, to be very honest, it is most scientific in nature. For example, we have got our past record, we have got past data for the different departments, likewise production or sales or negotiation or marketing or so many others. Then they have got certain relativity in terms of statistical relations with terms of available staff, their levels, where sufficiently strong relationship. For example, now what is relationship or regression into? For example, is there, let me be very careful while I'm saying, listen to me very carefully here. Where we have, I'm telling, where is there any relationship of the ability of the workers and the productivity? You will say, yes, sir, it is closely correlated. That meant for that if there are more capable persons in the organization, the productivity will be enhanced. Or productivity will be enhanced. That meant for profitability will be enhanced. Or the profitability will be enhanced, then definitely it is going to be enhance the organizational goal in terms. So all are closely related because these are statistically connected, and this is the number game. And while deciding the amount of numbers of person, how capable they are, there are certain derivatives, there are certain indicators, there are certain relativities which needs to be formalized in this subjective statistical techniques. In terms of the business research methods or mathematical calculation, we may be very in depth, but here there is no need of it. If we are in need of it, some or the other time, I shall be able to try to make some other videos and definitely come to you with the different time. Let us talk about the next statistical technique, that is called productivity ratio. See, it's a very simple mathematics. There is no rocket science. Historical data are used to examine past level of productivity index. Let's say P is equals to productivity index, as I used to spoke. which needs to be an outcome of workload divided by number of people. Let's say to the amount of work of arranging this particular room where I'm making this video here now. Is this a work? Yes, it is. It is a work for a worker. And then if a person will do the work, or the persons are going to do the work, the load of the work will be lesser and the productivity index will be increased. Therefore, this is very constant or systematic in relationship are found. Human resource requirement can be computed by diving predictive workloads by P for the productivity index. And I thought, if you remember, students, we have talked enough about this particular the P, productivity in the classrooms. Let us move further. We'll talk about analyzing. There are more techniques, personal ratio and time series analysis. These are two important practical techniques, though they are statistical techniques. One is personal ratio. Whatever the work available to us, whatever the volume available to us or to the organization, do we have adequate amount of the ratio? For example, in the university norms, in the standard working norms, to the students, number of students, there may be a teacher required. To the number of patient available, there should be a number of doctor required. That is called proportion, personal ratios. Work available at, and then that we used to call per capita work against the workforce available, or available workforce for the per capita work. Okay, so this is what through the past data it has been examined, and then it is decided for various jobs or job categories. Regression analysis or productivity ratio are then used for project either total or key human resource requirement, and personal ratios are used to allocate total requirements of various jobs categories or to estimate for non-key groups. This is one of the important factors. Time series analysis. Let us talk about time series analysis. This is what, again, the past data based, which levels with, instead of workload indicators, there are projected future human requirements. For example, in the year of 2000, a country have got uh, or company have got this much of volume. In their next 2 years, they've got that much of amount of work. Against that, they have hired that much of amount of workforce. So this is what a subsequent statistical relation in the time framework. But it is not mandatory. See, I mean, it's an orthodox saying in our own language, in Hindi, or saying, भविष्यवाणी करना आसान नहीं है. It has never been very easy for forecasting, especially in the business area, and therefore HRM is using statistical techniques. Statistics are the more efficient way of defining or deriving anything, especially in terms of how much personnel are required down the line after the years. You have seen the studies many of the time. Let's say Harvard University, or let's say X University or Y University or X department had presumed that they in let's say 2030 they will require this sort of workforce. So this is because of the time series analysis, followed by, there are certain assumptions. We are not going to do it in detail because as per our level of the syllabus, we are in need of this much only. Moving average, exponential smoothing and regression techniques that we can use. Analyzing current supply, and analyzing current supply meant for whatever the workforce that we are talking about now, or in today's circumstances, what is available to us as an internal. When I say internal or internal source, that meant for skill set in terms of the internal workforce, succession planning, or the promotability. These are the questions that we need to talk about. How many and what kinds of employees do I currently have in terms of skill and training necessity in the future? That is the key analysis aspect for current supply. And therefore, they will look for from the external one. External one is also very important. Analyzing current supply, meant for the skill inventory for the current workforce available to us, which is in terms of the skill sets, the abilities, the experience, and trainings. Now, training is the important part which is there in fourth unit. For that also, I will have got a video. And fourth unit, managing cross-cultural diversity in tourism industry, had already been shared with you by the name of subject note. So this is in succession, so I told you. Skill, abilities, experience, and training as the part which is very important for analyzing current supply need. Whatever it is there at our end, we can supply for the forthcoming requirement of the workforce. Here it comes the term called HRIS. You have been through this term already, I guess, in the classroom discussion. Let me give it one more time. Human Resource Information System is the system which is more handy for making the workforce available or understanding how capable our workforce, what is their deliberate capacity, what is their the criteria of understanding. So to do the analysis, the HRIS plays a vital role nowadays, as we usually talk about MIS systems and all that. So as for the HRM, that is HRIS, Human Resource Information System. An HRIS is an integrated approach of analyzing, one, acquiring, two, third, stronging and controlling. Now, let me talk one by one. Analyzing is to analyze the workforce onto the basis of their merits and their updated skills in to be time or to be future time. Acquiring, how we are making a shift or rotation of them, and then storing that meant for how do we are acquiring them, whether they are there at a one place. If they are not a good performer, definitely they need to be, or if they are performing well, they are adequately very spontaneous to their own career as well as the career of, as well as the lifespan of the organization also. And lastly, we can talk about controlling the information in terms of throughout the organization, which is also very important because it's a fact that organizations are key or vital, and organizations information system by the name of HRIS can play a vital role for controlling, analyzing, controlling by storing, by followed by acquiring, and followed by analyzing the resource available to us. Okay, whenever we are talking about HRIS, it's not always into the quest of HR planning, but it is a system which is there for HRD, Human Resource Development Understanding. Let us not talk about this. Let us proceed the third unit. But to continue with the third unit as per your syllabus. This particular series that what I had made it is more sort of my working pattern on that as per your syllabus. Now let me go through this. We have already done first unit with our classroom. We have already done recruitment, selection and induction a bit, but I am going to complete it again. You can see this with forthcoming session, but today's we are going to conclude this video with this only. And then now finally we have completed the HR planning. So we have no more anything topic with HR planning. Clearly, we had completed first unit, clearly completed second unit. We have already completed third unit also, but I'm going to share certain things for recruitment and selection, which will complete this. And in due subject, the managing cross-cultural diversity in tourism industry had been discussed through the subject matter shared, and some topics, types of benefits and services are also being discussed some or the other way. Otherwise, whatever it is, we'll be able to discuss. But before going, I would like to request all of you students, since all of us are there in a stigma of being there in the household, it is my request to all of you to take care of your own self, your parents, also to take care of your studies. See, life is an ongoing process. You all are there in the supposed to be there in masters, and therefore I wish you all the best. Capitalize the time available to you. We, as a teacher, are supporting at our end, and we are trying to give you the best out of ours. And I shall be able to update the soft copy notes or the assignments which you need to fulfill. Till then, I shall be able to come back with the new video, definitely for the fourth unit, training and development, followed by recruitment and selection and induction, which is there. So this is the continued series for a few days, and then it will be the course topic will be completed. And once we are going to complete the course, we are also going to talk about certain important issues, like we can discuss about how to prepare the exam. We can discuss about how to manage your time. We can also discuss about what will be the future proximity of your life. How do you need to prepare or write for the exam? So these are my thought process, and I believe if you are people are relying upon, we will have a very good learning all together. So I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Be committed for your studies. Wish you good luck. Namaskar. Thank you. That's the end of the HR planning